Hey everyone! What's up? Welcome back to the indieRift podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me is returning to the show this fine week. And no, oh god, no, I forgot to change the overlay.
Oh shit.
I downloaded it and never changed it. So, folks, as you're seeing the sauce be made, boom, it's Matt Murray, but it still says @PantsGuy.
It's all right. They don't need to know. It's fine.
Matt is not @PantsGuy.
Just if you're gonna listen, if you're gonna tweet me, just tweet Andy instead.
Yeah, tweet Andy. Tell Andy all of your hot takes. Yes, Matt is returning. Andy is away on a business trip. He is not in the country and therefore cannot record. And instead of being the lazy pieces of shit that we normally are, we decided to do the show.
Let's do a show.
Let's do a show because
let's do the show.
We do love video games. You know what I mean? We do. And of course, this is the indieRift podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming news, reviews, and previews show you've never heard of and never listened to, probably. The show posts each and every week for your listening pleasure on your podcast service of choice, including our home, Podbean, and of course, anywhere where you get podcasts, and our YouTube channel. The video version of this here podcast is on youtube.com/@indieRift. You can follow us on TikTok and all that stuff. We put our little shorts on there as well. Those are doing exceptionally well, and we.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we might have to drop the podcast you've never heard of or are listening to, because it seems like some people are finally catching on. It's small. It's small.
Yeah, some people
are getting there.
Hey, listen, growth is growth, even if it's just a tiny little erection. It still works. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's true. If there was a growth on my arm and it was a tiny growth, I would still say,
you would still go to the doctor and get it lasered off, probably.
Yeah. Probably.
What do we got? Oh, so elephant in the room. Dev Dive was not recorded last week. Dev Dive side table, I should say, because it was postponed 1 week. So I will be recording that tomorrow with one of our guests for Riftblade. So that conversation will be happening tomorrow. And as far as I understand, Matt, you would like to join on that. So if that's still going to happen, that'd be great.
I think I'm going to be there. Yeah. I'm really excited about this game. I've been all up in their Discord for quite a while, playing the alpha version of their mobile version of the game.
Sweet.
Which is super fun. And yeah, looks to be a good time. And Trey seems like a nice guy, so can't wait to hear his story.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be dope. So look forward to that in the coming days. But we do have indie video games to talk about. Although, don't worry. Side Table will fully invade this episode of the indieRift podcast. Oh, yes, because Matt and I are dice goblins.
It's true.
It will be happening. But first thing to talk about on this week's show, in the Indie Game Adventures, I played a video game, and I really like it. But we're gonna start with the game you played this week.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Because I have one and you have many, so I figure you start, and I sandwich myself in the middle like a nice little delicious cookie. Tell us about Ale Abbey.
Yeah. So you sent me a code for this game. It is a sim management game where you're managing a monastery of monks that worship beer. It is pretty standard fare when it comes to gameplay for those types of things.
What's going on here?
It's like set in kind of like this, like, not medieval quite, but maybe a little bit later time period. And yeah, it's pretty fun.
Late evil.
Yeah, not medieval, late evil. I'm early evil. But yeah, so you're kind of like the new owner of this ale monastery, and you're in charge of keeping all the people inside it happy, keeping them working, researching different things kind of within the abbey, which include things like barrels for aging your ales, decorations to keep people happy, maintenance closets to kind of keep everything maintained and not dirty so that people are happy, as well as like different recipes and stuff. Or not necessarily different recipes. You're researching the ability to add things to recipes, which is pretty cool. My favorite part about this game so far is that the main mechanic outside of actual upkeep of the Abbey is creating your own beer recipes.
Oh yeah.
And so you have this menu, like you can have like brewers go in and they do like research, and you add like a certain amount of ingredients, and the ingredients um, change the flavor profiles of the beer. And there's like a drastically large range for four different attributes. Like one of them's like foaminess, which like adds to the volume of the beer, and uh, aged, and there's four of them that I can't recall. I only played about
Bitterness
2
is
hours.
perhaps bitterness one of them.
It might be.
The
It's like strength and
carbonation.
clarity or something like that. I'm getting
Delicious.
them.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
literally getting them all wrong.
Potency.
100%. Potency, sure, something
Yeah.
like that. How much drunk are you now?
How many alcohol is
How
inside
many
this beer?
drunk are you with this beer? And it's really cool because like you can kind of like play around and bounce around with flavor profiles and like different types of beers. So like you can brew it'll have you like select a type of beer first. So it'll be like, all right, I want to brew a light ale. But I'm gonna give it this flavor profile. And so you could have 2 or 3 light ales that are all different tasting. And there is a market out there, of different size cities. You start off in a very small city, but the market will tell you what they're demanding. And so as you kind of research and start experimenting with throwing different flavors into beers, because on top of just like the normal like hops and barley and all that fun stuff that you throw into beer, you can have like special ingredients that completely change the beer. And you'll get feedback from how well they sell, all kinds of stuff. What flavors people are looking for out there, so you can kind of brew to their tastes. Um, and then there are times where you will get like offers from a bar, and it'll be like, "Hey, we have a celebration coming up, and like people are really digging that light ale that you brew. Can we get like 100 liters of that in like 60 days? Can we do that?" And you'll fulfill those and get some rewards for
That's
it.
awesome.
It's a pretty good time. Like I said, the management part is pretty standard fare. I did have some UI trouble, and I think some work could be done there. Where like the bottom menus that were coming up, like your build menus and stuff, don't go away as intuitively as I think they should. Like they're not as
Right.
contextual as they should be. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I did find it funny that like you have to build a maintenance closet, and in your brain you're like, this is a management sim. I'm going to assign a person to the the
Maintenance
waste
closet.
closet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? Nope. When you build the maintenance closet, you get like a broom icon down in your lower right corner. And the broom icon is you have to go manually click on all the rooms to sweep them
Yeah.
up. And then there's a similar icon once you start adding lighting to like refill your oil lamps or whatnot. And like people get pissed. Like people will be unhappy and you click on them and it's just like a little light icon. And you're like, oh shit, the fucking bedroom's
They're
gone
drinking in the
dark.
dark.
Yeah. Or like one of the things was like a guy was like walking around all pissed off. And I was like, what's going on? Like I clicked in on him and he was thirsty. And I did at that point in the game, I didn't realize that I could like give them beer. And once you build an aging barrel, you can designate one as like the beer for the monastery.
Hell yeah.
It's great. And some of the writing is pretty funny. Like the head bishop that shows up addresses you as your maltiness, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually had a pretty good time playing this game. I was like kind of mad on it when I was actually like right after I played it, but like the more I think about it, the more fun I actually had with it.
It looks like it kind of has like Fallout Shelter vibes with the way it's all set up with like the sim aspect of it. It looks really cool.
I used to play a lot of Sim Tower back in the day. Like that's my favorite sim game. I just loved like 2D stacking and like that shit fired the synapses in my brain more than like building city blocks. And it definitely has that aspect to it. And yeah, I mean, if you like management sims, if you're into beer, whatever, it is.
If you're into monks.
Now that you've got me talking about it, I enjoyed it.
All right, well, you keep enjoying it. That was Ale Abbey. I played a really cool game. I played a game that we actually had on our wishlist roundup for a second there. It's called Starfire Eternal Cycle. This is a side scroller. I call it a side scroll action slash beat 'em up roguelite.
Sure.
This is it's got your roguelike standard fare of like choose your path after completing one like a screen, and pick from this path. One path will give you a new power up, this other path will give you gold, etc., etc. And then like as you're going through, you could pick like more challenging rooms, or you could pick the shop, so you could buy other things. It is super high octane action. Like the hack and slashiness of this is very reminiscent of the isometric cousin in the genre, like a Hades or something like that. It's very reminiscent of that. It's just in a 2D side scrolly coat of paint. You get these. So in the beginning of your run, you could choose from a few weapons. My favorite are the lightning gauntlets, but there's also like the big hammer. There's one more that you start with, but I didn't pick it yet. And obviously you unlock more as you go. You just try. It's a roguelike. You try and see how far you can get into your run. You do get permanent upgrades. When you complete or die or whatever, you go back to like a home base and you can like upgrade things from your base. Like more max health, more crit damage, stuff like that. The each stage is frantic. There's just shit going on everywhere. Boss battles are really fun. It's classic pattern recognition, dodging, the spots on the ground, get out of the way. It's a very, very competent classic style action hack and slasher. I was kind of addicted to it, because it has the you get these like crystals, right? And the crystals will augment you in multiple ways. And for example, like one will be like adds lightning to your attacks or whatever, and then or increases your lightning damage. And if you're using the lightning gauntlets, it's heavy attack or like combo finisher will release something. I forget what it's called. But it's like a lightning charge, like a thunder charge. Yeah, something like that. One of the abilities that you get it's basically one button to attack. There's a button to dodge, and then there's the shoulder buttons. One does a like quick like special, and then the other one does like a mega special. And you have to like charge that up as you're chaining attacks together and stuff like that. And like one of them for the thunder gauntlets is you surround yourself with these like orbs. So like as something hits you, they explode and the enemy gets like knocked back and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. But you get these crystals which come from all these bugs that you're attacking. And you just add them. You like choose from them or add them to your collection, and then you equip them to augment yourself. At the end, when you go back, or if you choose the shop as like where your path, there are 3 vendors there. There's the weapons vendor, there's a shard vendor or crystal vendor, and then there's a machine that combines crystals. So you could combine 3 of any one level of crystals. So if you have 3 level 1 crystals, you could combine them and they'll make a level 2 version and take a little bit of each of the attributes of those crystals and combine them.
You have like a merging mechanic.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And you never know exactly what you're going to get. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I love the ice mechanic here because slowing the enemies down is huge, but I'm going to be combining it with a fire and a wind crystal because I want to try and upgrade, and you may not get the frost carried in, but you might. But either way, you're going to get a more powerful shard. So you're always constantly taking your shards, throwing them in, combining them, and you get like the max level shards, which I think is level 4, at least in how I'm playing right now. And your permanent upgrades, you could spend currency to like get another slot for crystals. You could increase your stamina, your dodges, your crit chance, your crit damage, and things like that. So it's got like that RPG element that I really like in these types of games. There's always something that you're improving, no matter how poorly you do in your run. You're going to get a little bit of currency that you could spend on something. and you do get better as you're playing. Like not just like the stats get better, like you as a player, like you start to realize how these enemies interact and like what their tells are, and like
Mhm.
dodging through them so you can hit them from behind and then backing away because you know that they're going to counterattack, and like it's very competent. And I really enjoy it, and I think I might have to do a full written review for the website because
It looks
I'm
like
really
a game
enjoying
that
myself.
I would probably dig. Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised that you like a roguelike.
I like roguelikes. I don't dislike roguelikes. What I don't the types of roguelikes that I don't like are the ones that are more lean towards the all or nothing version. Um I like character development over time.
Sure.
So like the more into that it is, the happier I am. There are some like Metroidvanias that are like those roguelike Metroidvania types where it's like you want to get through this biome and you know as quickly as you can or whatever and see what weapons you get and stuff like that. But then when you die, I forget which one it was, but like and you basically start from scratch. Like
Dead Cells.
yeah, it might yeah. Yes, that sells.
Yep.
You basically start from scratch. You have some things that carry over, but it's nothing that entices me to want to do it over again because seeing what weapons I get and seeing what abilities I get on that run is not the gamble that I enjoy. The gamble I enjoy is where am I going to put my power ups so that the next time
Sure.
I go on this, it fits my play style and whatever. And like and I'm picking my main weapon too, so I'm not relying on what happened, you know, a random weapon drop. Um, but again, this I feel like the soul of this game is a beat 'em up. Um,
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, it looks like it based on what I
yeah,
watched in the Steam trailer there.
it feels like it could have been like if you took the roguelike out of this and just made levels to go and just beat things up, this would be a competent beat 'em up too. So it's got layers. I really want to get past the second boss because it I'm getting close, but it is a pain in the ass. So
Mm,
the boss is like it's kind of like a tentacle monster, and it has
sure.
a tentacle on the bottom and a tentacle on the top of the screen that are in the middle of the stage. And then when you walk past them, you scroll all the way to the right, and then there's the actual like big monster like there. And it attacks very close range and then very far range, but you can't see very close range if you're very far. You can't see very far if you're very close. So
Sure.
you're constantly going between going up, punching it, dodging back, dodging the tentacles that are doing their moves, and then because you're away from it, it's now going to launch shit in the sky, and you have to avoid the red
Yeah,
dots,
you
and
have to
then
avoid that.
go
Yeah, yeah.
close, and they hit them again. So, but it also hits really hard. Like if you get hit twice, you're pretty much done. So, um, it's tough, but like I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So I look forward to picking it back up and continuing my playthrough. That is Starfire Eternal Cycle. We have a couple of games here. We'll do some quick hits here. You've been
Sure.
playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing this game for a very long time. I bought it in early access a while ago. I wanted to bring it up because they're very quickly approaching their 1.0 release,
Today.
and they're adding. Is it today?
It is
It
today.
is today.
It is today.
So they're adding all kinds of different stuff to the game. A whole system for gear that didn't exist before. This is a survivors like game
Hmm.
by the title. And it is my favorite of the genre. Just the way it works is great. I love the character in it. I love the mining aspects. It's wonderful.
I love
There's
that
a
it
lot of
kept the soul of Deep Rock.
yeah. That I mean, I think that's what it does it for me is that like I like Deep Rock Galactic a lot. I'm not like a super hardcore player, but I played a little bit of it and I really liked it. And I love that this doesn't feel like a cash in for them. It felt like they were like, hey, I think that genre would work with this world, and it did, and it's very exciting. I play it all the time. It's like one of my favorite Steam games that I have.
Yeah.
But they're adding new modes. They're adding like a whole gear system and a ton of other stuff to it. And it is also our steal of the week this week. Normally $30. It is $9.99
Yep.
or $9.89.
$9.89. Yep. $9.89.
Whole 10 cents off. Definitely suggest picking it up. It is super fun if you like Survivor likes, if you like Deep Rock Galactic. It is just it's one of those, and it's the best of the genre in my opinion.
Hell yeah. It feels like back in the day when developers would change the genre of the sequel. You know what I mean? Like Zelda was like, here's Zelda, and now here's 2D Zelda.
Here's a 2D Zelda.
And you're like, cool. That's what it feels like. Like this feels like it could be a proper Deep Rock game, which it is.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no reason to say it's not.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like hardcore Deep Rock Galactic addicts out there that'd be like,
yeah. What do you mean, you stupids? Speaking of hardcore, coming on, we're close to 10 years on this game. But it is not a Matt Murray, aka Missed Enough, indieRift podcast if we don't speak
I gotta talk
about No Man's Sky.
No Mansky.
No Mansky is here back with another update? Question mark?
Yeah. So the Voyagers update just launched recently. We have freighters, right, which is like our big home base in the sky, and we have our regular ships, which are like our tiny little fighter guys or haulers, or whichever ship that you pick to call your own, or oil ship or whatnot.
Sure.
And now we have this medium-sized baby that is more customizable than either one of them. And so this Voyager update introduced Corvette class ships, and these ships are constructed out of different pieces, more like a base than like how you would construct your own starship, which is like the smaller class. You can ride in these with friends, which is like a totally new thing. You couldn't do that with really anything else. You can bring your friends along with you on adventures. It really like fundamentally changes a lot of what No Man's Sky is, and like how the world kind of works and reacts to you. You're able to skydive out of these onto planets, or just like free float out in space, which is absolutely insane.
That's scary.
It's terrifying, but it's also really fucking cool. And yeah, I mean, I every time I come on here and talk about No Man's Sky, I say this, but like I can't say enough good stuff about this game. It is like the chillest survival game that I could think of, but it is so expansive, and there's so much to do and so much to see, and they have truly, if you don't think they've redeemed themselves right now, and you're still talking shit about No Man's Sky, I feel like you haven't really touched it since launch.
I feel like talking shit about No Man's Sky at this point is like talking shit about Lego because they only had the starter set when it first came out.
Yeah,
like the multicolored bricks.
It's such a different game, and like the amount of content in it is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
It's very do what you want. I think there are a lot of games that tell you that you can kind of play the game however you want. But this is one of the only ones I can think of. Obviously it's genre specific, right? Like you can't go into No Man's Sky and be like, I'm gonna play a fucking
Archer.
RTS game. Right, exactly. Yeah, like you can't go in like that, but like
I'm Legolas in space.
Yeah, inside the game, there are so many systems to help you succeed in playing the game in the ways that you want to play it. You can be a bandit. You can go steal shit from giant ships and get attacked. You can be a bounty hunter. You can be an outlaw. You could be a farmer. You could be like a zoologist. Like there's just so much to this game, and it keeps getting better. And I know Light No Fire is kind of like around the corner-ish, but I know that they're not done with No Man's Sky, and I can't wait to see like 10 years. What based on what they've done in the past, waiting for what they're gonna do for their 10-year anniversary, I can't even imagine what it's gonna be. It's gonna be crazy.
One Man's Sky.
But yeah, if you haven't played this, for the love of God, give it a chance.
Yeah, man, give it a chance, Steve. Shut up,
Steve.
Yeah, that was No Man's Sky Voyagers update. So go check it out. Now, Mr. Nuff, aka Matt.
It's me.
We are gonna It's an invasion. It's a side table
It's side
invasion.
table time.
Let's go.
We're the side table brothers.
Guess what?
And we're here to take the
Let me tell you
title.
something. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about board games and all of the terrible
That's what I'm
things.
talking about, brother.
We're gonna go to the stratosphere. We're gonna come back and yeah. If we haven't lost you, indie
With
games.
these almost 6-inch pythons.
Indie games are also analog. They're not just exclusive to video games. I don't know if you know that.
There's myriad different types. Of
So many. It's a menagerie, a kaleidoscope of independently developed board and card and tabletop gaming.
That's correct.
And so we have 4 stories to share with you on this fine episode of the indieRift podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming news, reviews, and previews podcast you never heard of. First one is a follow-up on a story that I think we talked about on the show maybe 3 months ago. But Mythic Games doomed board games change hands again as CMON sells more IP. This is coming from Wargamer. So CMON or Come On, I don't really know exactly what.
I think most people refer to them as CMON.
CMON? Okay. I really don't know. I'm new-ish into the sphere of indie board gaming at this point. Like I'm about a year into like really understanding what's going on.
I feel like we're both kind of there.
Yeah. So CMON has sold 2 more board game IPs in attempts to offset millions of dollars in losses. The publisher originally acquired Anastyr and Hell: The Last Saga 18 months ago from Mythic Games, who failed to deliver the titles to backers for several years. Responsibility for these long-suffering games has now been passed to French publisher Don't Panic Games. And I know Don't Panic. And Don't Panic will probably put these games out, hopefully. Mythic Games first made headlines in 2023 when it asked backers of its Darkest Dungeon and 6 Siege board game to provide additional funds to receive pledges they've already paid for. By 2024,
is that supposed to be Rainbow Six Siege?
It's I think it's like a Rainbow Six Siege board game, I assume. I remember the Darkest Dungeon crowdfund. I remember that board game crowdfund. I don't remember the Rainbow Six one. By 2024, it had 4 unfulfilled projects left to deliver, and 2 of these were sold to CMON as the games were, quote, excessively difficult, if not impossible to complete with our current means. Anastyr was meant to fulfill in 2021, and Hell: The Last Sage. Did I say Saga before? I apologize. Oh, it does say Saga. It says Saga and it says Stage. Wargamer.com, get your shit together. Which one is it? Was expected in 2023. At the time of the acquisition, CMON was unable to estimate if the titles will ever be completed. The company did, however, promise existing backers a free copy of the base games they paid for. Quote, given the quality of the games produced by this publisher, their experience, and high standards, we are not only reassured, but certain that this new version of Hell Anastyr will live up to your expectations, Mythic Games said. CMON lost $3 million in 2024, $7 million.
I understand the solution, but like offering the backers a free version of a game that base version of a game that they backed, when almost certainly a lot of them backed at probably a higher tier.
Yeah,
is crazy. And that's the danger. You know, that's the danger.
It's crazy, but at the same time, this is the nature of crowdfunding games. It's why I don't. So I did 2 failed Kickstarters for the cafe I wanted to open, right? And the first one, I come from a construction background, so I know what things cost to make, to build, to renovate, to especially retail spaces. It was one of the things I spent probably about 4 or 5 years of my 10-year career almost exclusively estimating. I went into that Kickstarter knowing exactly how much money I needed, plus Kickstarter fees, to build that cafe. Right. That was my goal. It was like $134,000 all told, or something like that. It failed miserably. Like, I think I maybe made 3,000 in pledges for that. And I had people tell me, you got to put your goal much lower so that people are more likely to give to you. Like, okay, but I can't do anything with $5,000. I can't do anything with $10,000. And people who ran successful Kickstarter campaigns or who were advisors for Kickstarter campaigns legitimately told me, but you'll get the money and you could do something smaller that could lead to you getting more money.
Sure.
And it felt terrible to do that.
It's true, but then you're kind of lying to the audience, right? Like you're lying to your backers about what
Right.
you can deliver. Yeah,
right. Or
I get that.
You're scaling it back so much that this, in my case, the cafe's not possible with only $10,000. It's not possible. But what I can do is take that money to start a, traveling cafe, whatever, like, and go to like schools and run an afternoon board game thing, whatever. Like, you could maybe do something like that. But like, that's not what the vision of the business is. It wasn't the vision of, and in a lot of the cases, I feel like these Kickstarters will set that goal to the bare minimum of what it would take to just like barely make something. Can't even like manufacture it, especially with like tariffs and like all that horse shit. Before even knowing what that would actually cost. Like, how could you even, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
So what happens if you barely make your goal? What happens if you double your goal, but now you need quadruple that? Like, the risk is inherent in doing business this way. And I think that these crowdsourcing websites, I think one way to like mitigate this is to have a minimum promised product. Where no matter what happens if this game is funded, the bare minimum you have to deliver is X. In my case, or for board games, I think it would be perfectly reasonable to say, hey, if everything fails and we can't do what we want to do, you're getting a digital copy of the game, or a printed home version of the game if it's a card game. I think something like that.
Do I agree with that?
I mean, you could get into trouble, right? Because you could just always think that that's what you're going to do.
Well, no, it's not. I'm not even coming at it from that angle, right? It's like you can do that, right? And that would be a interesting change to the way, like the mechanical way that a Kickstarter or a crowdfunding campaign on any website really works. I know some of them are different. I know GameFound is a little bit different. But I think you get into trouble there. So one way that it could work is like, okay, this company that has started a second Kickstarter who didn't deliver on their first Kickstarter really, and I only got like the base product or like a digital version, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to back that. So like you have the aspect of kind of public opinion, right?
Correct.
Where
that'll drive the market.
That'll drive the market. The issue though becomes is like, okay, how many companies can start where they're like, okay, our last thing didn't work out. Let's start like a shadow company and we'll try this new one. And then they just do the same thing. Or alternatively, how many Kickstarter backers start to feel burned out by this kind of thing where, oh shit, I pumped $200 into this fucking game that I was looking for and all I'm getting is a digital copy and I don't even have a fucking computer that plays video games.
I think,
and then you're not just losing people for that brand,
right?
You're losing people for like you, right? You're burned out by Kickstarter. Like you're not going to kickstart more shit,
right?
And it creates that kind of turnover.
What if you tied backer tiers to stretch goals? Meaning
unlocking them.
You unlock tiers to support when you already reach a stretch goal that supports those tiers, and you allow your initial backers to upgrade their tiers first as they unlock.
I mean, I think that's interesting. But again, I mean, if the question is, if the issue is you don't know you don't have a viable idea of how much it's really going to cost to create all this stuff.
Only
Uh,
a few don't have that down to a science.
Right,
Like
but so that's
some I've talked
that's
to
what I mean.
absolutely
Like
do.
if you're trying to shield Kickstarter or people who back Kickstarters from this stuff, you shouldn't try to shield them from um so I think what I'm trying to say is, as opposed to putting in a mechanism to protect the developer from having to deliver on the promise
Hmm.
of the game, that like if I back at a high tier and I'm promised all this shit and then all of a sudden I don't get it, I think as opposed to protecting the developer, right? Because like the saying like, hey, you only need to deliver this like minimum viable product, uh I think is dangerous because it doesn't protect the consumer. Whereas like, hey, if you don't deliver at least this much stuff, you're gonna have to give all the money back to all the people, I think is a much better
Oh,
avenue to take.
100%, 100%.
And
Yes,
I think that the only thing that stops that, right, is that like whatever kickback Kickstarter is getting from the crowdfunding is too much to be. They're relying on so much of
they rely on
the
failed
funding,
not failed.
right?
They rely
Not f-
on funded projects, no matter the scale, really.
right. They don't care. They don't care if
If it's a
fucking
$5,000 or $500,000 campaign,
yeah, and not only that, but like they don't really care. I mean, I'm sure they do care, but what I'm saying is like monetarily, they don't care if your Kickstarter succeeds
doesn't fulfill.
and then you don't
Yeah.
deliver.
Yeah.
They don't care. They got the money. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure.
And so
I'm
I
sure
think
there's some sort of like division within Kickstarter that like everything you do in Kickstarter, like when you're making a Kickstarter campaign, a lot of shit has to be approved. Like
sure.
they look through your campaign, they look to make sure your goals are reachable or attainable. Like they do that stuff for you.
But
I don't
like
know how
clearly
good
there,
it is, but
yeah, right. I was gonna say clearly there are some holes in that, right? Because
Oh
like
yeah,
we have a
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
There's a game here, it's fucking 2021, dude, that like
yeah.
still has not been
That was
fulfilled.
supposed
And
to be
like I
delivered
don't
in 2021.
right, right. I don't know what went wrong. Like I don't know what production challenges they faced. Like clearly there was something that went wrong, but um, that's not that's that's just not okay. You know what I mean? Like people gave
Yeah,
you money for a thing and you should have to deliver them.
yeah,
And it sucks that like the out that they had was like, we're gonna sell these IPs for these backed games to somebody else in hopes that they can get them off the ground. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. Um, it just because like really they just got more money.
yeah,
That's all that
yeah.
happened. Like the IP transferred and they just got more money from the Kickstarter games that they didn't deliver on.
They got work to do. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully the pipeline of getting these things produced can be tightened, shortened, and these products delivered. Speaking of delivered products, Matt.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Devir or Devir, I apologize, I do not know how to pronounce this, Devir, is to recall all copies of the new release of Ace of Spades after backlash over slavery depictions in artwork, and apologizes for causing harm. If you're an audio listener, I encourage you to go into the show notes, click the link for this article, which comes from BoardGameWire.com, because we are going to show this on our screen here for YouTube.
This
And
is freaking crazy, dude. What?
This is bonkers. What is happening on this screen? There is a card called Slaver.
Yep. Sure.
Which
sure,
is
sure
a Colonel Sanders-esque man with a whip and a chain that is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And it is paired with a card called Fugitive, which is a black man with chains around his neck and in his hands, frothing from the mouth.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
And to add insult to injury, the Slaver is a 22 and the Fugitive is a 7. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what
but
those numbers mean.
Numbers usually are better when they're bigger.
Sometimes.
I don't know the first thing about this game, but I know this is terrible. So all of those games are getting recalled. Good gravy, Matt. Good
It is
gravy.
wild.
The game looks otherwise pretty good.
I mean, I didn't go over the rest of the game. I just can't believe that like somebody looked at this on like
And
a
said,
table
yeah,
in
let's
front of
do that.
them when they were developing it, and were like, "That's the one. It's that one." It's just yeah. I don't know what you do. Not great.
Not solid. There's also a card called Django, and I think it was a white cowboy.
Yeah, come on, guys.
I think.
That's easy.
I'm not 100% sure. I didn't spend too much time scrolling through. When I saw the slaver and the fugitive, I said, "Oh no." oh no. So yeah, that's back. That's gone. That's out.
Yeah.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible is Invincible role-playing game by Free League. Is coming to Kickstarter in just a few days on September 23rd. This comes from Free League. This was a press release. Forge your own superhero legend in the official tabletop RPG based on the groundbreaking comic book by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Otley. Now, an animated series on Prime Video. Invincible, superhero role-playing, the upcoming tabletop role-playing game from Free League Publishing and Skybound Entertainment, is coming to Kickstarter next Tuesday, September 23rd. The first ever Invincible RPG Kickstarter. The first ever Kickstarter. Backers can learn more and sign up now to be notified when it goes live. Let's see. Kickstarter, blah, blah, blah. They say the same thing quite a few times. The Kickstarter will include...
Notify me on Lynch thing.
Hell yeah, man. I'll run a game of Invincible. As long as it's not complicated. Honestly, I have no idea. The Kickstarter will include a comprehensive core rulebook in a standard and an exclusive collector's edition, and a boxed starter set with the illustrations by Corey Walker and Ryan Otley, and graphic design by Jonah Noir from Morkborg, which is a very popular tabletop RPG system. Prospective backers will be able to download a completely free quick start PDF to get a taste of the game right away.
Wow.
Maybe we could do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so very cool. Superhero tabletop RPGs are very hit or miss. They are very difficult to get right. I have quite a few back here on my shelf. I'm still yet to play the new Marvel one. I would like to give it a try, but it's not wrapping around my dumb idiot brain.
Didn't click. Yeah, fair.
Just from reading it, it's not. However, I don't know if I'm talking to my microphone. Where is it?
I can hear you.
My favorite one. Where is it?
Uh-oh.
They're gone. They're
Steve
missing.
lost books. Steve lost books.
They're here somewhere.
The most entertaining podcast on the
There
internet.
it is. The Marvel Universe RPG. This had 3 books. It had the standard one had like Spider-Man and a lot of tons of Marvel heroes. There was a Hulk expansion and there was an X-Men expansion. This game was a lot of fun. Very easy to like understand. It had this thing called like a stones system where your powers are tied to a stone currency. So it's like red stones and white stones. Red stones are your power. I think white stones were your hit points.
Sure.
And so like when you're doing something like mega punch thing, you're like, I'm going to put 6 stones into it. And then like whatever you're attacking has to use its stones to block. And then anything that goes through goes into their white stones. And it's like, stuff like
hitting their actual HP.
Yeah. So it's like, it's very simple. But how you describe your powers and stuff like that is very unique. But anyway, that's a fucking digression. I didn't think I was going to go on today.
Way to go.
Yes. So Invincible coming to Kickstarter. Definitely by the, maybe I could get them on the show on
That would be pretty
side
cool.
table.
I mean, I do feel like Invincible is not necessarily a protected IP, but it is held in very high regard right now. The show's incredible, obviously. The comics were awesome. And I hope that the quality of this kind of has lives up to how good the media on other parts
I'd like
parts of Invincible are.
I'd like to know what system they use. That's going to be big for me. There are a couple of systems I'm not a fan of. But Morkborg I hear is very good. I haven't played it, but I've heard very good things about it.
You know what's funny is I have a Morkborg book.
Oh.
Like I got like really excited about it. We're in the middle of one of our campaigns, and I was like super deep into TTRPGs for a minute.
Okay.
And it's like this like weird space one where like paranoia and fear play a big part.
Yep.
And I have the book, and I don't even think I've fucking opened it because I don't know how to read. So
That is true. That is true. Picture books are important in your life.
Yeah.
The last bit of news on our side table edition of the Indie News Report is tied into our next side table podcast that we're recording tomorrow. Riftblade is officially launched on Kickstarter, and in 26 hours, I think it was, smashed their goal. 29 minutes, excuse me.
Yep.
In 29 minutes, hit their goal. They're at $36,000 now, with 22 whole days to go. I watched the demo of this game being played that you sent me. Immediately was like, this could be something. I'm actually going to play it here on for our viewers.
I mean,
we're
just
talking about it.
I have found out very recently, like within the last year or so, that I really enjoy these like contained in a box deck builders. I like Ascension. I bought this game called Hero of Tome, Hero of.
I love Tome.
That
Tome's great. I was with you.
Oh, you were with me
because
when
I bought it like 2 years ago, and then I was like, "Yeah, it's good. I can't play with anybody, but it's good."
Yeah, then I also recently bought I'm gonna forget the name of it. Shards of Infinity, which I also really enjoy.
Yeah.
And those games all feel very similar. They obviously have like their own mechanics in them. Tome I think probably stands out more than the other two because it's like these character-driven actions and stuff that you can do where your character levels up and they gain different affinities and different amounts of mana and health and strength and all different stuff. Ascension and Shards of Infinity are very similar. I mean, they're both produced by Stoneblade Entertainment. One, you're just dealing points. The other one, you're attacking your opponent. There's stories in both of them. There's like campaign modes for them that are vastly different than each other. And then there's other different mechanics in both of them. Ascension has such a long history with so many expansions. This was the first time I've seen a deck builder that had, in my opinion, some really, really cool mechanics, like specifically with the dice and what you can do with the dice, how your spells play out and how you link them together, and just kind of like what you can do with the overall game, like flushing out the middle row to make sure your opponent can't get something, or you can use your dice in different ways. Like they don't only pay for things, but they all have different properties. Like you can change some of your dice based on what dice you have. It just looks very, very fun.
Indeed. I did back it. I backed it today.
Good job.
I'm one of the backers. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
I'm going to bring it to work. I have a bunch of people at work that I play games with all the time. It's great.
Oh, that would be good.
Sorry.
That would be good if I could do that, but we all work at work.
Well, we work at work too, but we stay late and play board games.
See, I'm trying to start a D&D group.
Yeah.
For a once a month D&D game.
Yeah, no, so like
That'd
post work, usually on Thursdays, I'll stay after work for like an hour and a half, and we'll play like Dice Throne or Ascension or Shards of Infinity or whatever somebody brings. Yeah, it's great. Actually, 2 of my Dice Throne sets just live at work now.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of money.
Really bold.
It's like $500 in a cabinet that's just mine.
Well then.
Yep.
It's crazy talk. Honestly, crazy.
Yeah.
All right, that was the Indie News Report Side Table Edition. And to round off and if you didn't know, the Kickstarter of the week is Riftblade, so go over there and do that. You know what I mean?
Do the thing.
Wishlist Roundup. We have 4 games on our Wishlist Roundup. We kept it tight. We kept it tight.
Toys.
First one here was from our own Gomstead, aka Jimmy. editor at indieRift.com, who found this game and thought it looked cool, and he is correct.
It does
Folly
look cool.
of the Wizards. Folly of the Wizards is a comedic 2D roguelike action game that puts you in the shoes of a clumsy wizard apprentice. Join a wacky wizard cult and use unique spells to defeat enemies, explore procedurally generated dungeons, and save the world from chaos. We'll take a look at that together.
This looks super fun, dude.
Yeah,
this
man.
looks like a really good time. I don't know why, but the art style is giving me a little bit of Patapon in a weird way.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, this looks great. I will definitely play this.
You have much to learn. Yeah, no, it looks dope. I think it's coming next year, if I remember correctly, but we'll just take a look here.
No. It is out in 1 day and 17 hours.
Oh shit! I thought it was next year.
No, sir.
Oh, so this might be less of a wish list and more of a pick it up now.
Yeah, just buy it.
Oh yeah, it does give me Patapon vibes. Even like the enemies too.
Yeah.
Very cool. So check out Folly of the Wizards. Definitely looks dope. Yeah, wow. The 19th, so in 2 days. Yeah. It's from Upfox Labs and published by Numbskull Games.
I'm in here.
What else we got on the old listicle? For our cozy friends, our fans of cozy video games, Rads, I'm looking at you. We have where the hell is it? Cozy Island. Take a relaxing walk around a surprise-filled island. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to redo this. I'm going to do this in my cozy voice.
Okay. Lean in.
Take a relaxing walk around a surprise-filled island and build your own secret base. Explore the island, meet cute animals, play fun mini-games, and collect cool toys and furniture. Enjoy carefree and happy moments on the island. Play with your friends and share your fun together. It's from Lazy Fish Studios. This looks adorable as heck. It has cute. It's got some Animal Crossing vibes in it a little bit.
I like this little gif of this character stacking pumpkins for some reason.
Stacking Pumpkins is the sequel to Smashing Pumpkins. Actually, it's the prequel.
Like, we've done smashing, we're collecting now.
I love the physics.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Adorable. So if you like your cozy games and your silly games and you like playing with friends, check out Cozy Island for your pleasure.
Cozy is land?
Cozy is land. It is
Question
true.
mark?
This next one I put on here specifically for you because I feel like you're going to love this game. This is called Keys of Fury.
Oh boy.
Keys of Fury is a retro-style beat-em-up typing game. Focus on typing perfection as you battle your way to becoming the master of Key Fu.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. So
This looks wild.
Yeah. You have to type the words on the
running-
screen in perfect time, and as you're doing it, your Kung Fu guy is doing Kung Fu stuff.
There's a part where he runs from raptors.
Yeah.
Oh my
Naked.
god, he's deflecting coconuts with consonants.
Yeah, man. Machinery. Impressively.
I like the first sentence in it is, how do celebrities keep cool?
Peculiar, atypically,
joke. It's a
revolutionary,
There's a
controversial.
punchline. How do celebrities keep cool, Steve?
I don't know. How?
They have many fans.
Oh, God.
I appreciate that if they're going to set up the joke that they give me the punchline. I
Exactly.
appreciate that.
Its release date is 2025. So, any day now.
Classified escape. I'm going to punch you with my feast.
It's from Elicorn and published by Elicorn. So, maybe we can get them on the show because that'd be fun. It looks dope. Like
It does.
the
It actually
pixel
looks very
art, like
fun.
everything exploding on the screen.
animation.
Looks really
Yeah, the animation's wild.
And you could get better at typing. Know what I mean?
You could
get better.
typing and fighting.
Final game on the list, out tomorrow or today, if you're watching this and not recording with us.
What?
I mean, if you're recording with us, it's out tomorrow. But if you're literally anyone else on the planet, it's already out. So
It's out now.
It's out. It's totally here. This is Goblin Cleanup, a co-op cleaning game where you have to clean and rearrange a dungeon before the next adventurers come to complete it again.
Dude, this jellyfish mop thing.
Team 17 publishing this bad boy from Chrysalu Games. Sometimes that
I feel like they've done not Team 17. Never.
Team 17, you know for sure. Like they publish a bunch of great games.
Shitload of games, right?
Very good games. Yes.
There's a studio though called Goblin Studios that I think is.
No, you're thinking of Goblin These Nuts.
You son of a bitch.
But of course, Team 17, Overcooked, ate everything.
Yeah, this looks super polished.
Hold on, we gotta look at it with the peoples. I didn't show.
Why are you not looking at it yet?
Because I was reading the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looks fucking cool. Like I feel like if I was still streaming, if indieRift was still streaming on Twitch,
this would be a good.
I would be playing the shit out of this game. Like me and you, me and Andy, you and Andy, me and Jimmy, you and Jimmy, Andy and Jimmy.
Me, you, Andy, and Jimmy.
Me, you, Andy, and Jimmy. Me, you, and Jimmy.
Yep. Just gonna go through all the permutations of the squad, buddy.
Yeah, man. 12 different combinations, right?
Jimmy and Jimmy, Andy and Andy,
Jimmy
Steve
alone.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy.
You
solo.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Guys, definitely play with yourselves.
This is great. This looks great.
It looks really fun.
You had to clean up the dungeon before the next adventures. It's funny.
I like that the mop thing is like it's like an entity that you have to stab with a pitchfork to make your pitchfork a mop.
Yeah. And they're so hurt. Oh no, it's scary. Poor guys.
Yeah.
What a cool idea.
Yep.
Who'd have thunk putting away your D&D minis would be a video game one day.
I am into it.
Indeed. That's gonna bring us to the end of the show, but not really, because we have some mailbag stuff.
Oh, we do have mailbag.
We do. We have some mailbag. Usually, this is where we end the show, but we on last week or the week before's topic on AAA versus indie games and like that whole thing, we did get some interesting comments on our video on Tickety Talk. We had a couple people here. Let's see. Mr. Face says it's almost like hiring artists instead of data specialists gives you something different. Weird. LOL. True.
That was about what?
That was about the indie games and smaller games that have been coming out are like pushing genre forward and like creating new experiences, and where AAA is becoming stagnant and that kind of thing. Couple of people saying that AAA hate is so forced, so clearly they're Call of Duty stan. This one was my favorite.
Right.
This one was my favorite. Leisure is War says, it's amazing how consistently wrong this take is. Literally none of that is, quote, shoved down your throats versus, quote, driving the market across the field. Data isn't the enemy.
So I agree with that guy.
Okay.
But I think that AAA hate is not real. I don't think any of us hate AAA games. I think that thinking the AAA space is innovating in almost any way is insane. Like when you look at what games come out every year and what sells well, like even games that are great, right? So like Ghosts is a good example. Ghosts of Tsushima is like one of my favorite games of all time. But thinking in any way, shape, or form that game is innovative and is pushing the limits of like what gaming can be at any given time. Nope. Like the story was great. It was a fantastic story. One of the best written stories of video games, in my opinion. No small brag. But like they don't innovate because the point of what was said there is not necessarily that like data is bad, but that when you make solely data, specifically money data making decisions
Right.
on how you build video games, you're chasing the wrong thing, right? Obviously, you always want to make some money, but when you're making your 12th Assassin's Creed game and you're like, well, the last one sold well, so let's change nothing and keep it exactly the same. And then people are like, I don't fucking want to buy it. You're like, why did it sell? I don't understand.
But when they change something and they make it a multiplayer game, people are just like, fucking why?
Well, because Assassin's Creed multiplayer was so dope.
Which one?
3. Not 3. Brotherhood.
Are you talking about the one where you like went on assassins together? Or are you talking about the one where you were trying to kill each other? As I feel like those were two different things. Okay.
When you're trying to kill each other.
Okay.
I loved that one. It was so fun, dude.
I don't think I have. This is my favorite one. That I think it makes a really good point. It's from Richard Puns. Thank you for your comment. It's funny because the big guys have all the advantages. They have the staff and money to speed run research and development, hundreds of ideas, and any idea with legs could be fast tracked in a couple of years.
Right. Well, I think regardless of that, the issue is that it's like a bunch of dudes. Like, you could have all the data scientists and all the best artists and all the best writers in the world, but like when the dudes in the suits at the top aren't in that mode and they're just in like the how do we make the money? I mean, Cyberpunk is a really good example of it, right? You had a bunch of talented artists, CD Projekt Red, super highly respected in the industry. Yep. Again, they don't particularly push the industry forward, but they're known for making some of the best games in the industry. And what they released was like dog shit because a bunch of dudes in suits were like, no, we got to release it like right now. And everybody was like, guys, we do this all the time.
Broken.
It's not ready yet. Like, it's broken. We can't do this. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, no, get it out the door. And they're like, I mean, okay. Another great redemption story, but I think that the problem is not, again, I think it's not that the data, like collecting data is always good. It is the people looking at the data and analyzing it.
This other comment, and then we'll move on from the topic, was really good as well. This is from PH Boom Harris. Capital has made gaming a paint by numbers exercise when all gaming is art, in all caps. Stop trying to make art by committee and just fund small indies on a single game by game basis. Fine example, Project Zomboid. Small team making the best zombie survival game ever. Give them $500,000 and let them make the dream. Get some extra stuff so they can finish the basic product. That game would make bank. And if they decide to make another game, they have the income to comfortably do so and maybe invest in them again. A couple of people agreeing, wholeheartedly with that as well.
That game has been in early access for the entire length of time that I have been truly aware of indie games as a thing.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It is an absolutely fantastic game, and that's a pretty good take. I do think it's hard to. This is why I say that I don't think that hate is real, because we all understand that some of the pillars of the industry that is like keeping it alive, in a meaningful way, are AAA titles. It keeps people interested.
Yeah, of course. There's no one's arguing against it. It's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the main point is you're billion-dollar companies. A lot of these publishers are billion-dollar companies. Fund smaller shit while you're doing the big thing. Like, just 100%. Put some other stuff out. It's like, we're not saying just put out shovelware. We're saying, like, I guarantee you, if you have a group of like 300 developers, you could probably find 300 developers that have an idea for a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 100% of
let them do their
just give them
do their side stuff,
little stuff, hey, your 50-hour work week, you're going to do 30 on the big game and you could do 20 on the other, Fridays are your Thursdays and Fridays are your other games.
Your dev time.
Yeah, whatever.
I like that.
This is why I'm not a billionaire. All right. We got a couple of questions from our Discord, which you could join by going to patreon.com/indieRift, just like our Patreon producer, Colton, the journeyman Nestler. We love you, Colton. We appreciate your and everyone's support. Yes, if you join our Patreon for just $1 you get into our Discord. Farmer Pete, long time friend of the show, has one request and a question. With fall upon us, and there are there any spooky season games coming soon that you are excited for? And then I would like it if we could hear Nuff's input on the Lone Fungus dev's concern for pricing his upcoming game the same as Silksong. Nuff is who put me onto the first Lone Fungus game, so I know that he knows how great Basti is at making games. To recap, that was Basti lamenting possibly having to give away his game because he does not believe his game should be in the same price tier as Silksong.
Which is a shame because he had a little bit of a hard time when he originally started to kickstart the sequel. To
yeah.
Lone Fungus.
Yep.
For those that don't know, Lone Fungus is an absolutely fantastic hidden gem of a
Metroidvania. Yep.
Definitely pick it up if you love those games. There's so much to do in that game, and there's like a really interesting skill ceiling in that game because there are things that people can do with the different moves that you acquire that I couldn't even have possibly thought of while I was playing that game. And my skill is just not as high as those people. And he seems to be continuing that trend with the second one. But let's get to the spooky games first, and then I can give you my thoughts on the remainder of it.
Andy is obviously the spooky game guy, but there is one that excites me, and I just want to see when it comes out because I'm not 100% sure of the exact date. So if you just give me a second, where the hell is it? I guess I'll just look for it. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows.
For me, there's the Halloween game that's coming out that looks pretty dope.
Here we go. Little Nightmares 3 is mine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Little Nightmares 3 coming out October 9th. Little Nightmares are those games are fantastic. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Halloween.
The Halloween game. I know it's probably gonna die, just like the Friday the 13th game, because it looks like it's gonna be kind of like a Dead by Daylight kind of thing. But Halloween has been my favorite horror franchise since I was a little kid. I watched it probably way too early for my own good. Michael's the original slasher. And I love the idea of this game. It's not coming out this year, unfortunately, but definitely one of the horror games that I am looking forward to. I'm not as into horror games as I used to be. I don't play them as much anymore.
You have young kids.
Andy is definitely like the guy for that right now.
Yeah. The one thing for you to take some solace with is that the Friday the 13th game was a licensing issue. The game was very popular when it was shut down, so it didn't die because of it not being good. So hopefully, maybe this will hit that same, hit that same. The fuck's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. Chord. There it is. Strum the same chord. Same chode. Buzz Killington wants to know what we thought about the Nintendo Direct. We actually talked about this on the pre-show. We did not really care much about that.
I did. I mean, as far as indies go, there really wasn't a whole lot there, right? It's not really anything there from our angle, and then like Mario Tennis and another Metroid 4 trailer.
Yeah, in the pre-show we kind of go over like that Nintendo at least when you have a Steam Deck and you cover indies, like you really don't need to cover the Switch 2 indies scene. Like you're not going to get much unique in that way like we did with the Switch 1.
Right.
Which just was like a haven. It was
an indie machine.
It was a haven for indie games. Yep. Like indie publishers and developers were dying to get their shit on there in that first 18 months because of how much they sold. Like games did so well on the original Switch. I don't know if the same is true. Maybe Andy and I will do some research and see what those
I don't think it is
like on Switch 2.
I think that part of the reason that it did so well was because it was the only real handheld like that on the market at the time. And now
for the indie
games.
And
now that is like a whole subgenre of console.
Right.
I just don't think that they have the market share anymore.
Exactly. I agree.
But before we leave, I do want to touch on the other part of Pete's question as far as like pricing goes.
Yep.
I think more than just for Basti and for Melody of Spores, the Lone Fungus sequel. I think it's silly to look at something like Silksong and say, "Hey, man, I'm scared to price my game at $20." I don't think it's going to do very well, especially when it is of the quality that Lone Fungus is.
Right.
$20 is not a lot of money, and as good as Silksong is, I think that comparing yourself artistically to something like that and giving yourself a monetary value is weirdly derogatory, and like people wanting to compare themselves to a game like that is only going to bring them down. You know what I
Right.
mean? You don't need to do that. I think pricing your game at $20 is more than reasonable. You're not like You're not like stealing people's money. You know what I mean? $20 is a reasonable amount of money for a game that I know is going to be of good quality. I think that I'm probably a dissenter here. I think that Hollow Knight is a very good game that is clearly very well polished. I think that it had some pacing issues, and that despite its polish, it was like challenging in the wrong, especially like as far as navigation goes.
I'm sorry,
like,
you,
just
you cut
not-
off there. You said challenging in the wrong ways sometimes. Is that what you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I think that it's just like like I know that a lot of Metroidvanias are exploratory games for a lot of people, and that can be fun. But there are points in a lot of the games where you kind of get lost and you don't know where to go. And I never have fun when that's the case. And I hate having to look shit up. And I think that Hollow Knight, more often than not, did not do a great job of directing you, where there are games that in that genre that do a really good job of informing you without telling you directly that you're on the right path. And I do think that that is a problem with Hollow Knight. And so what I'm trying to say is Hollow Knight isn't this like perfect idol of a game that everybody needs to be terrified of. If anything, taking ideas from it and putting it into your own game, or saying, "Hey, my game is great, and I think it's also worth $20," is not only worth my time and your audience's time, but I think it's worth it for you mentally to understand that games are a spectrum, and that this one golden thing that everybody is squealing about doesn't have to be the end all be all for video games or indie games or anything. I mean, it's one
Yeah.
game. It's going to be, praised by some people. It's going to be hated by some people, and your game could do the same thing.
Hell yeah. Very good point to end the show on. Thank you so much for joining me this week, Matt. It was an absolute pleasure hanging out with you and
course.
recording some
Yep.
show. I love to record some show with you. You know what I mean? It's always fun.
I
to
do
record a show.
enjoy recording the show with you, Steve.
Indeed.
Also,
Correct. That is a correct thing for you to feel. Thank you, everyone, for checking us out again. We are the indieRift podcast. We are indieRift, and we are Matt. We are Steve. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for listening and watching. And as always, please be excellent to each other.